Welcome to the live syllabus, Perspectives on Experiential Education Beyond School, with Professor Anil Srinivasan, co-founder of Kruu, a session that invites us to look beyond textbooks and timetables and into the real-world classrooms where life itself becomes the teacher. Professor Anil Srinivasan is an acclaimed classical pianist and education innovator, the first pianist to receive both the Sangeet Natak Academy Youth Award and the Kalaimamani. Known for his iconic collaborations with U. Srinivas and Sikhil Gurucharan, he's also composed for global theatre and dance productions. An MPhil from Columbia, he founded Rhapsody, a STEM through music initiative reaching over 4 lakh students, and Kruu, which brings project-based university-style learning to schools. A TED speaker and Aspen global leader, he continues to shape the future of education through the power of art. So let's step out of the classroom and into the concert of real life. Over to you, Mr. Anil.
Hello. Am I audible? I know I'm very visible. My hairstyle is extremely distinctive. I'll stand in the light so that I can reflect on this entire group of educators. Good morning, everybody. Okay, I think that's too much partying last night. I'm very happy to say that I walked in at 11 o'clock thinking that I'm feeling old and tired, and all I could hear from the party hall was, "Ye mera dil pyar ka deewana." Thank you, Ravi, for having me. And some of you here already know this routine because you've heard me in other places boringly, but we will do it again. And this is to wake everybody up. Can everybody rub your hands together like this, please? Okay? Hands apart. I'm going to count to 3, and on 3, you clap. 1, 2. This is what I was expecting. I never said 3. Okay? All right, again. Rub your hands together. Hands apart. 1, 2. Forward thinking. Okay? All right, so the 3. Much better. All right, so I'm here to talk thank you for the wonderful introduction of me as an award-winning musician. All of that is true. I'm happy. But I'm here as a college teacher. More importantly, I'm here as a teacher. I do teach at Kriya University. I run Kruu. But I'm talking as a college teacher, talking to schools. And this is what we are facing. I want to thank Russell because he set up this talk beautifully. In fact, Russell said everything I wanted to say, that I just need to stand here, get photographed, and I'm done. Okay? Number 1, education's becoming modular. What do we mean by modular? Before I get there are 3 surprise questions that I will ask you. No Kahoot, Colonel Shekhar, I'm looking to you to give the first answer. Yes, that also. I don't have a keyboard in front of me, but instead I will ask it as musical questions just to see if you're paying attention. Okay? I will sing the first line, you're going to sing back the second line to me. Ajeeb daastaan hai ye. Thank you very much. Well done. Okay? And that's modular education. Right? I could have put 20 points on the slide. We wouldn't have focused. Modular education is saying that the brain doesn't really work in linear silos. The brain actually works by combining different things together. I believe you have a session on neuroplasticity later in the afternoon. We all come from different parts of the country, different curriculums, different boards, but all I had to do is Ajeeb daastaan hai ye, which is true, and you became one in just 1 second. Modular education is that part of education it's saying we now no longer learn. If it's engineering, we are not learning everything to do only with engineering. We are putting it together with other things. It's working with neural networks. It's working with the way we can look at different things. So you could be doing engineering, but you can also do arts. You can also do decision making. You can also do judgment. You can also get into sculpting. And all of that together is becoming education. What does this mean? In college, for example, the course that I run, one of the courses I run is called Music and Data Science. Why? Because music is data, and data is music. Right? When we study music, we are studying patterns. When we're studying data, we're studying patterns, and becoming data detectives is probably one of the, and Russell already said that, is one of the most important profiles we're working for in the future. It means that for teachers, we need to be upskilling, upgrading, by doing things which we thought we didn't need to do, right? Second one, Kora kaagaz tha ye man mera. And then, thank you for demonstrating what this particular picture is, right? I did music and there's a Diwali in the brain, okay? This is also the truth. Modular education is saying that, look, if we start bringing more interdisciplinarity, if we start challenging people more with different disciplines coming together, the brain is more activated than if you're doing only one thing. And that is the life syllabus. Everybody is talking about AI. If you're in South India, you would not be forgiven if you're not studying AI in something or the other. If you're in deep South India, you'd look at AI and say, "Aye." No, I'm just kidding, okay? What can I say? Kama Ganisa. Okay, so this is, with everything on artificial intelligence, I don't think I want to add to that. Fortunately or unfortunately, it is here. In fact, I'm not physically here. I'm still in Chennai. It's a bot that is talking to you. It is becoming that much, right? Now, given that the syllabus in college that we're beginning to think about, and therefore what we want children to prepare for before they join college, but after they finish school, is what is thinking beyond artificial intelligence. So we are actually designing a course called Beyond AI. So what are the skills that are going to be important? So that's critical thinking. By the way, if we can get a unified definition on what is critical thinking, I promise I will wear a wig the next time I come, right? Because different people give me different definitions. I loved the best definition of all was given to me by one principal in Chennai. I will not name that person. And he said, critical thinking which is critical. Right? But this is what we are getting into increasingly. But what I would say, that the life syllabus is really about investing in creativity as a construct. What is creative intelligence? It is the combination of looking at how arts play a role, which means pattern recognition, which means creative ways of thinking, neuroaesthetics. These things play a part. Collaborative creativity, what we can achieve together. Okay? I'll show you how we can achieve it together. I'll hum it, you sing it. Ta 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 ra 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 ra. Collaborative creativity. Okay? You just got that. Right? Throughout schooling, and I'm so glad again that Russell brought that up, right? We are so exam-led, chasing the elephant's tail, that I don't know how many of you here are Bharatnatyam or Kathak trained, but the mudra that I often see with children who've just finished grade 12 is that they automatically sit only like this. Do you know what this is? Do not let the person behind you copy from your answer sheet. Right? In this kind of setting where throughout your life you're being taught that you should be a topper, suddenly if you are being thrown into a workplace and say, you should work collaboratively, learn to work with people from different skills and strengths. Most of our children are looking in those workplaces and saying, "Eh? Ye kya hota hai?" But my principal said, I am only number one, right? This is the problem. We do not know how to collaborate, and therefore investing in it as a skill is becoming important. Cognitive is that stuff with neuroplasticity. The people who are, is Vikramjit here, who's going to do neuroplasticity in the afternoon? You should talk a lot more about that. Please note that he is not here for my session, but I gave him lots of publicity, okay? And of course, the last part, which is the entrepreneurial part, right? Most of it, today's education is actually starting with the question, what is the problem you want to solve? It's not asking you, what do you want to study? It's asking you, what problem do you want to solve? Okay? We are moving into knowledge hubs and no longer just universities. What's a knowledge hub? Your grandmother is a knowledge hub. Where have all our grandmothers gone? They're watching OTT. Where have all our grandparents gone? Literally, they're all working on Kahoot and answering questions. Okay? In all of this, we are forgetting native systems of knowledge. We're forgetting what it really means to be who we are. And I think that one of the life syllabi questions that we are placing, not just in college, but what I'm going to talk to you about very shortly, is how do we allow our children to go beyond the textbook, enjoy Tokyo, like he said, right? And actually get into asking themselves questions on what does it take to be a human being who contributes to the world today. And that means you should know who a knowledge hub is or what a knowledge hub is and learn to ask them questions politely, compassionately, and not demandingly, right? And this is a skill that unfortunately is going to earmark the child of the future. I put this slide just to show you that I prepared for this presentation today. Okay, I'm just kidding. These are knowledge hubs. Every one of these things is a knowledge hub. So if you were to be an entrepreneur in the world today, you need to have the networks of all of these things. Okay? I would sincerely urge you all to look up something called Singularity University. Okay? And by the way, the first time the Global Singularity Conference is happening in India this year, which is a very important thing for you to know. It's happening in Bangalore. Don't even think of attending it because it's super expensive. But there is a virtual Singularity conference available. And since I don't have too much time, I won't do this. These are from college. This is the World Economic Forum report of 2030. These are the top 10 jobs of the future. I will pause for exactly 15 seconds. You can score yourself a point if you've heard of any one of these things. For each one, you can give yourself 1 point. It's correctly out of 10. Okay? Data detective, Tidewater architect, work from home facilitator, and so on and so forth. Okay? The first time I saw it, I got 3. So if you lie and say 10, I won't believe you. I'm just joking again. But these are all things that are bringing the worlds of technology, design, the sciences, but most importantly, creative intelligence together. I don't want to talk about this. Too many people are speaking about it. But what I will tell you what it is not. Experiential learning is not going on excursion. Okay? I met somebody on a flight who said, I run a company that does experiential learning. And I said, what do you do? They said, we take people on excursions and picnics. That is not experiential learning. Experiential learning is learning from experience. It's a pedagogical construct. Okay? It needs to follow a certain construct way of inquiry. It needs to start with research, it needs to ask with inquiry-based learning, and it needs to get into specific ways of conclusion. It's a pedagogy, it's not just a fancy term. It certainly is not just something that we will put in a CBSE memo. Okay? It is an extremely important pedagogical construct, and you learn from experience. Okay? This is dedicated to Ravi Santlani for having introduced me to this absolutely wonderful genius of a man called Shogata Mitra, who, as many of you know, is professor of computer science, retired at Newcastle. This was experiential learning, right? Looking at a human situation because of the empathy he developed for kids playing in a slum, and he said, why can't that access gap be bridged? Started with experience, followed by inquiry, and then became an experience that children could learn from, became education. Experience, empathy, and education. Right? This is something that we've all forgotten. Can you all close your eyes? Including those who are looking at your phones, close your eyes. You cannot close your eyes if you're looking at your phone. Please do not film other people closing their eyes. You close your eyes. For the next 10 seconds, I want you to think of your one person in your life who means the most to you. Open your eyes. This is just a simple way of saying every time you feel yourself going a little down, think of the person who means the most to you. If they can love you unconditionally, you can love yourselves unconditionally. Okay? The most wonderful thing you can say and ask for is help. And I will dedicate this to all of you. So if you put modularity of education, AI and beyond, knowledge hub, experiential learning, and rest space that you can create for yourselves, you arrive at the makers of destiny. This is the maker syllabus. I want to thank Ravi, and more importantly, Ravi Jr., Parinya, who asked a very interesting question to me at the Lassi conference that Ravi had organized nearly a year ago, where she said, how do we get all of this? Where do we get this experience? We are finishing school, but where do we get this experience? And therefore, I'm very proud to announce the Kruu Youth Fellowship, which was inspired by Ravi, okay? And the Youth Fellowship is actually going to take you from project-led discovery through the whole idea of doing service pretty much the way Russell described it, and take you all the way into the creative experiential hubs of the future. More about that if you meet us after this. And I will end this by saying everything that we are discussing here today, if it is not going to solve this problem in this picture, then what are we doing? Thank you very much. Can we all rub our hands like this, please? Again. Everybody, especially the WhatsApp people. Okay, hands apart. 1, 2, 3. Remember that a family that claps together will stay together, and a family that stays together will change the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If only, okay. Yeah. May I please have Mr. Ravi Santlani felicitate Professor Anil?